Hi everyone. Hey, before we do our writing period today, I would like you to watch this video where I read this book called Actual Size. Now, this is an author who knows a lot about animals and has made a book that shows parts of animals at actual size. So this should be really interesting. Did you ever look a giant squid in the eye? Have you shaken hands with a gorilla or been face to face with a tiger? All of the animals in this book are shown at actual size, so you can see how you measure up to creatures both large and small. The atlas moth is so large that it often is mistaken for a bird. Its wingspan is 12 inches. You can see how it is compared to my head. The giant squid lives deep in the ocean where its enormous eyes help it see in the dim light. Body and tentacles up to 59 feet long, eyes 12 inches across. So if I hold it up to my face, you can see that an eye of a squid is larger than my head. The Alaskan brown bear is the largest meat-eating animal that lives on land. Its height is 13 feet. Its weight is 1,700 pounds. Here's the largest bird, an ostrich with its egg. Height up to 9 feet, weight 340 pounds. A 2-foot long tongue. This must be a giant anteater snacking on its favorite food, termites. Body and tail 7 feet long, weight 8.5 pounds. Oh, 85 pounds. See, that didn't seem right to me. As a reader, that didn't seem right, so I went back and checked on it. The Goliath bird-eater tarantula is big enough to catch and eat birds and small mammals. Its legs are 12 inches across. That would be terrifying if that was trying to get in my sleeping bag while I was sleeping outside. The saltwater crocodile, the world's largest reptile, is a man-eater. Ooh. See how large that is. Don't worry, it only eats men, so you're not in danger. Oh, there's the rest of it. Ready? Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Oh, this one also opens up. Okay, that's a gigantic frog. The Goliath frog lives in Africa. It's big enough to catch and eat birds and rats. Its length is 36 inches with legs extended. Weight 7 pounds. Oh, it's really large. This is too close to a great white shark. Length 21 feet. Weight 6,000 pounds. Teeth 4 inches long. Oh boy. The huge gorilla and the pygmy mouse lemur both have hands a lot like ours. A gorilla is 5.5 feet tall and 600 pounds. A mouse lemur is 2.5 inches tall and 1 ounce. But if you look closely, even at the lemur, their hands are like ours. You can see my hand compared to a gorilla's hand. They have a much larger hand than I do. And I have pretty big hands, even for a male adult. The Siberian tiger is the biggest of the big cats. Okay. The Goliath beetle is the world's heaviest insect. And that's the Goliath beetle there. It's 6 inches and weighs 3.5 ounces. 3.5 ounces is about, there's 16 ounces in a pound. So it's about 1/8 of a pound, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for an insect it is. The rare giant walking stick is the world's longest insect. Its length is 22 inches. 22 inches. This foot belongs to the largest land animal, the African elephant. Its height is up to 13 feet. Its weight is as much as 14,000 pounds. That's what an elephant's foot, that's his actual size. Okay, and then I'm just going to read one of these just so we can get an example. Okay, ready? The Goliath bird eater tarantula with legs that can span 12 inches is the largest spider in the world. It lives in burrows in the soft floor of South American forests, leaping out to grab insects, frogs, lizards, birds, and small mammals. Like most spider, it kills or paralyzes its prey by injecting venom with its fangs. So it goes on and on up here, but I'm not going to read it all. Okay. So the person who wrote this book lives in Boulder, Colorado with his wife and their 3 children. Beside writing and illustrating children's books, they also run a graphic design studio. But clearly, he knows a lot about animals because he has written a lot of books about animals. So this would be a person who is somewhat of an expert on animals, whether he knew a lot to begin with or it doesn't matter. He gained the knowledge and now he is somewhat of an expert on that. I mean, you can't write a book like this without knowing a lot about these animals. You have to know their actual size. You have to do a lot of research. Okay, and we're all experts at things too. So this is going to lead right into our writing lesson about being an expert at something and writing about it. But the way we're going to write now is a little different than the way that we wrote before. Okay, and let me show you. And I'm going to tilt my phone back here. Hopefully the weight of it backwards, it doesn't fall backwards, but we'll see what happens. Okay, there we go. Ready? Okay, it looks like we can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through my informational writing piece. It's not a step-by-step like we did with our other one. Like before we said, this is how you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. First, you take out the peanut butter and jelly and a butter knife. Next, you lay out 2 pieces of bread and put peanut butter on one and jelly on the other. Last, you put them together and you cut them in half with a knife, and that's how you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This is a little, different, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, ready? I hope everyone can see this up here. I'm going to take a photo of it too and add it as an attachment to our email so that you can print it out or look at it on your computer and see an example of this for your writing today as well. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. Ready? I know a lot about cats. You know how much I love my cats, Tucker and Luna. And I've had cats my whole life, but I'm going to read about it here. I'm going to let you know what I know about them. I've always had cats for as long as I can remember. I know that they only blink at people when they feel comfortable. Their eyes remain wide open when they sense danger. Okay? Their whiskers are as wide as their bodies, and that's how they know what spaces they can fit in. So if you ever look at a cat, like their whiskers extend out like this. And if I had whiskers, my whiskers would be this long. They would be the length of my body. Okay, and that's the same with cats. So if they go in a hole like this, they know if their whiskers are touching the side that the rest of their body may have some trouble fitting through there. So that's not a hole or something that they want to go through because they think they might get stuck. Those are just a few things I know about cats. Okay, so right up here we have a introductory sentence, right? So I'm going to go ahead and mark that introduction. Okay, and then do you notice I've done paragraphs? You see how I indented here? Look, I'm going to put an arrow here. I indented here. I indented here. I indented here. I indented here. When you start a paragraph, you indent. Okay, you leave a little bit of a space. It's probably about 3 to 5 letters, like the letters that you would write on a piece of paper, of space. And let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. Now my introduction sentence forms 1 paragraph. My conclusion paragraph forms another sentence. Now, if you look at some of these paragraphs, they have two sentences or so. Now, this first paragraph has one sentence. I've always had cats for as long as I can remember. Now, that's one thought, okay, and it doesn't necessarily fit with this, okay, so I kept that as its own paragraph, okay. Now, if you look at these next two sentences, they fit together. Okay, it makes sense to make them into a paragraph because they're both basically about the same thing. Let's see. I know that they only blink at people when they feel comfortable. I'm still talking about their eyes now, so this fits in one paragraph. Their eyes remain wide open when they sense danger. Okay? So that's a little bit of a that's a good example of a paragraph where I have two sentences where they both relate to the same thing. I'm talking about their eyes, okay? So it makes sense that that all goes in one paragraph. Their whiskers are as wide as their body, and that's how they know what spaces they can fit in. Now, I wasn't going to include this sentence in that paragraph because here I'm talking about their eyes and then blinking their eyes or not. And then here I'm talking about just their whiskers. Okay, so that's its own paragraph. And then my last paragraph is going to be my conclusion. Those are just a few of the things, or a few things I know about cats. Okay, so my first paragraph is an introduction. My second one is me telling why I know, like what makes me an expert on cats, right? I've always had cats for as long as I can remember. I've been building with Lego for 5 years. I've been playing lacrosse for ever since I'm 4 years old. So in my mind, I'm doing the math. You're 7 or so. So you've been playing lacrosse for about 3 years. So that's something that you're really good at. Okay. So this sentence right here, it really tells why I'm good at it. So think about this one saying, "This is what I know about." The second sentence or the second paragraph is, why are you an expert at it? And your expert lists that you have now, they work for this, okay? Because you're writing stuff about stuff that you're good at or that you really know a lot about. So that's still, even though this is a little bit of different writing than we did with our first one, your expert list still works. So you need to pick one of the things from that list to figure out what you're going to write about. So introduction, this is why I know a lot about them, and then this is what I know, right? This paragraph here and this paragraph here is some of what I know. And I'm trying to teach you something when I do this. This person is trying to teach us something with this book. They're trying to teach us the actual size. I've actually read a lot of books in my life, a lot. I can't even tell you how many books that I've read. I don't even know. It's probably like, I don't know, thousands? I don't even know. But anyhow, I've never seen a book that shows the actual size of animals. This is the first time I've seen a book that shows me this. So I just, it's really interesting. And, somebody wrote a book about something that taught me some stuff that I didn't know. I didn't know this is the actual size of a gorilla hand. I mean, look at that. That's incredible. So you can teach some, maybe you know something about something that other people don't know. So that would be a great thing to write in this, and it tells why you're an expert in it. Maybe one of you know why it's good to build with Lego a certain way. Maybe one of you knows how to take care of a hissing cockroach that other people don't know about. That would be really interesting to stuff to put information that you think people may not know. And if people don't know the information, they're going to be much more interested in reading it. Okay? And then finally, our sentence here at the end is just our conclusion. Those are just a few things I know about cats. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this and I'm going to include it. As always, a great idea is to use this as an example, as a good writing sample of how you should write yours. Introduction, this is why you're good. This is the information you could tell us about, your topic, and then this is you saying, those are just a few of the things I know about cats. These are the things I know about playing tennis. These are just a few of the things I know about building with Legos, or you can come up with a more creative sentence for that. It's really up to you. You're the writer, you're the author, and I'd love to see what you come up with. So as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to get back to you with some answers, okay? Have fun. Happy writing to you. See you soon.